Okay, what's up? So I've made over $250,000 in the last couple of years from selling courses. I became the online guru that I swore to never become. And in this video, I want to talk to you about my experience being a course seller, guru, what I learned about the industry, if this is something that maybe you should get into, the opportunity that is in the online money making space. The best part of this video is as of right now, I actually have nothing to sell you. I'm no longer selling courses at the current moment. I do work with a couple people and help them sell their courses, but I don't actually sell my own course. So this video is completely unbiased. I'm not trying to funnel you into anything. I'm just simply trying to share my thoughts. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do in this video. So first of all, who the hell am I? What did I sell courses in? Was I qualified to be selling courses? All your questions, don't worry, I'm going to answer them. So basically, I've been making content around sneaker reselling for the last 3 or 4 years. I ran up my own sneaker reselling business to over $2.4 million in sales. And from there, I had a lot of people asking me how I got into it, how I was able to get so many shoes on release day, super niche questions. And I started to get the same questions over and over and over again. And I was making content about what I was doing, and that started to blow up. So I figured, cool, let me start a community. So I started a $20 a month community. Actually, it was $15 a month. 200 people ended up joining that. 100 people on like the first day. So it was crazy. I think I was 18, maybe 17 at the time. It was like mind blowing to make that kind of money in one day, even though it was like a couple $100s. Like it wasn't anything crazy. So I kept running that community, kept growing. Eventually I scaled, and as I learned more about the info space into like high ticket, so I ended up selling a multi-$1,000 program where we work with people one-on-one and help them start or scale a sneaker wholesale business just like we were able to do. So from that, all my audience basically came from Instagram content and TikTok content. I ran up my Instagram to like 34,000 followers in just 6 or 7 months. So like really, really quick growth. And then I kind of stagnated. And then all my traffic was literally just from YouTube, which was like 1,000 subscribers, and then Instagram organic content, and then eventually into paid ads as well. So I made over not 2 point anything yet. I made over $250,000 in profit over the last few years doing this. It's super high margin business, so that's the beauty of info. But the reality is I learned a lot of dark secrets and truths about the info space. I think a lot of people in general have a bad rep for course sellers, gurus. I've personally spent close to $60,000 or $70,000 on my own education, whether that's like mentorships or groups or masterminds, and that's taught me so much about who I am, and I've learned so many random skills from just being willing to invest in someone else that already has that knowledge. So I used to have the same mentality, thinking that gurus and course sellers are scammers, but the reality is there are a lot of scammers in the space, but there's also a lot of really good, genuine people that actually care about your results. And what I learned from this space especially is the people that don't actually care about their students long term, that don't actually care about the people they're teaching, they usually never make it. And there's just the space is very toxic, which is ultimately kind of why I left the position that I was in, where I was making content every day and funneling into this. Like, I ultimately quit because I just got bored and unfulfilled by it. It wasn't necessarily that the opportunity isn't still good. Like my business partner, Aiden, he's still running it up. He's still providing super great service. But like for me, it just wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of anymore. I kind of got to the point where I was focused so much on growing the coaching business because it was just higher margin, right? If you make 30K in a coaching business, you're keeping like 20. But if you make 30K with like a wholesale business, right, which we were doing that no problem. We were doing that in a week sometimes. Like you might keep like, I don't know, 8K, 9K. So still good and still okay money, but you're having to do physical labor versus just selling coaching. And when you're selling coaching, you could literally be anywhere in the world. Our best month ever, I think, was 43 or 44K revenue. And I was quite literally not even in the US. I was in Europe, right? Enjoying Europe and still making money completely remotely. So the thing with that though is I realized over the last couple of years where my passion and where I actually get fulfillment out of, and I enjoy actually running the product-based business, scaling brands, being the secret mastermind behind things, than being the dumb influencer in the light of making content and going live and doing all these things. So I did very well with content. I ran that up. It was awesome. Made good money from it. But ultimately, the reason I kind of pivoted from that was just I started to feel unfulfilled by it. And by the way, this video is going to be literally all over the place. I just wanted to I've been trying to make this video for like weeks, and one take. I don't want to like script this. I don't want to. There's no structure to this. So if it's all over the place, I'm sorry. But ultimately, I just kind of want to share my thoughts on like one, how I made the money, why I stopped selling courses, and the dark secrets of the course and guru industry. So I kind of talked a little bit about how I made money. Ultimately, what we would do was use my Instagram as a landing page, as the funnel. I didn't have any landing pages, right? So it's just literally my Instagram. People would go to my Instagram. I have an appointment setter full time that would be messaging my DMs because at some point I was having hundreds and hundreds of messages a day. Had a few videos go mega viral and get like 2.5 million views, 3 million views, 20,000 comments on some of them. So all those people were getting hit with ManyChat, which is a bot that basically automates like initiating a DM conversation. So my appointment setters are just sitting there all day, just boom, 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 messaging leads, trying to qualify people to hop on sales calls. You know, the closer, which was my business partner at the time, he was taking all the sales calls. So I essentially was completely hands off other than just making content. So I would just have to make content and pick up the camera, which is something I always enjoyed doing anyway. And as long as I was getting good videos out, we were making pretty good money with minimal effort because we also built out the course and the program and the weekly calls to be so valuable that it didn't take as much time from us, right? Which took a long time, and I'll kind of dive into that later. And ultimately, we had a really good product. People were getting great results. The program sold itself, and I barely had to do work in terms of like actually fulfilling it, other than maybe hopping on a call a couple times a week and being on Discord throughout the day. So that was super cool and it was great. But the reality was, I felt like something was still missing. Even those months where I was making really good money, and you know, I could move out. I bought a new car. I bought a new watch. I bought all the shit that you're supposed to buy, right, as a guru. But every day it's just like, what can I do next? It's like, what's the next step? The next step. Like, this isn't good enough. Like, okay, you bought a Tesla. Who gives a shit? That's someone's daily car that they beat up. When's the Lambo? Then when you get the Lambo, it's like, when's the Bugatti? So it's like, I started to fall into that trap that most online gurus and content creators make lifestyle content of always trying to like one up what I'm doing. And even though I consider myself a very humble person, I really don't try to flex or try to show off. You kind of get forced to do that with the nature of how the industry is. So once I kind of realized that, yo, I was having a lot of conversations with close friends and family, and they were like, this content doesn't reflect who you are at all. Like, this is like, I know who you are, this is not it. Because my content was putting on an image that I'm just this asshole that makes a bunch of money and has everything figured out. And I realized like I don't want to make content looking like that much of an expert when I still have so much shit to figure out. I still feel like I don't know shit. Like, right? Like, people tell me all the time, like, yo, you've done all this cool stuff. Like, I don't feel like what I've done is really, in retrospect, like, there's so many people that have done crazier shit than me, and I have so many higher goals. So I know you got to be proud of where you've come and what you've done, but at the same time, the problem with making that content was it makes you almost feel like you actually are better than someone else, or it makes you actually appear that way, right? You might not actually think that, but how you appear to other people is that you're better than them, or like, which I was still going through my own problems. Like, I had so many crazy things going on. I was still learning so much about financially, how to deal with all this money coming in. My income literally 10x in like a month. I went from like making nothing to like making consistently like over $10,000 profit per month personally, and that really like fucked my brain because I'm like, oh, okay, like I can buy literally everything I've ever wanted to buy right now in reasonable stuff, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna go to like Rolex and just start buying a new watch every month, but like you can at 10K a month, you can literally move out, you can buy furniture, you can pay for the best quality food, you can go out to eat multiple times a week, no problem, at nice restaurants. You can afford the extra boxing classes and Italian lessons and whatever else you want to do like on the side, and you're really not thinking about money. And so I started to spend a little bit too much money and like started to get too caught up in that, and I had to kind of take a step back and realize like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, is this really what I want to do with the rest of my life? And so I learned a lot about, I think anyone that starts making money quick, especially at a younger age, you're going to go through your period of spending and then you're going to realize like spending is stupid. I always look at old people that have a bunch of money. I'm like, why don't you have a Lambo? I still want to have nice materialistic things, but I also understand now truly internally that I will not be any happier by buying those materialistic things, right? Like, it's not going to actually fulfill me because I was at the point where I was buying everything I wanted and I still didn't feel fulfilled. Now I'm basically buying nothing, right? And I'm restarting and I'm building a new business, and I feel much more fulfilled because I wake up every day and I'm like, the first thing I want to do is grab a coffee and just start like chat ramming on my computer, right? So if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out what to do, remember that money alone is not going to drive you far enough to actually achieve something great. The Comfort CEO, Comfort Clothing, they're one of the biggest brands on TikTok Shop. He made a tweet about this, or maybe it was Instagram story yesterday. Like, he was talking about his journey. I mean, they've done over 1 million units just on TikTok Shop alone. He was like, there's no way I would have gotten to this point off of just wanting money alone. Like, there has to be something greater that drives you. So I think money, it's okay to have money as a driver because money is important, and as much as you want to admit that or deny that, but that being at the sole forefront of everything you do will only last you so long. And eventually I realized that my main driving force behind selling coaching and doing this and being in this industry was that I wanted to make more money. And so when I realized that that was it, and once the money slows down or you have a couple bad months, it's like, fuck, like, why am I doing this? You know, and you won't be able to push through. That's ultimately why I sold the business, got out of it, exited. Not a crazy exit. Like I wish I could say it was like a crazy like multi 6 or 7 figure exit, but in reality, info business is only worth so much. So my partner though still running it up. Wish the best to him. We're still on good terms, so that's awesome. But yeah, now I'm basically moving on to being the back end of other offers because I think there's more opportunity for me there, at least until I figure out what my next big play is. I'm also building an e-commerce brand, so I've kind of shifted my focus from being stuck in one industry to just being a marketer. And I really want to spend the next couple of months of my life becoming as best at marketing as humanly possible and putting my sole focus in just being a great marketer and that being the core skill that I have. I don't want to go dive into a bunch of other shit, right? Like, I just want to be a great marketer, and if I can be a great marketer and be the best at what I do and in the marketing space, I know I'll find something to be. I'll always be able to make money. Even right now, I'm so confident in the skill set that I have. There's no worry about making money. I technically don't have a business right now that I've had for the last 4 years, but I know that if I wanted to just boot it back up and start selling product again, like, it wouldn't be a problem to do. In fact, I am still selling product to just kind of like make some automated extra money right now, just because I've been doing it for so long and I'm still so familiar with the space. But the coaching space is there's very mixed opinions on it, right? Some people hate it, some people love it. There are a lot of really shitty people in it, like the average Miami guru that flexes their supercars and like their watches and all the materialistic lifestyle shit. A lot of them are just living paycheck to paycheck. Even if they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, they're trying to just continue to upkeep that lifestyle, and it's such a stupid and dangerous game. Not a game that you want to play. So if you're watching this and you aspire to be rich and wealthy, make sure you do it the right way because it's not really that hard to make a lot of money, right? Like, you can scam, you can do unethical shit, you can make money doing that. But you don't want to do unethical shit or do uncool stuff to make money because you're never gonna actually feel the fulfillment that you think you'll feel if you took shady ways to get there. Which is why, like, I'm cool with taking my time becoming a liquid millionaire and achieving all these goals that I have for myself because I'd rather just do it the right way and feel fulfilled about what I'm doing than hate every minute of the process and not enjoy the process. The process is the most fun of this entire part, and I realize that more now than ever, especially after going through a period of making a lot of money and not feeling fulfilled. So when it comes to the coaching space and why I'm still involved in it, I think working with the right creators and the right people that are actually putting out real value and actually care about success of other people it's one of the most powerful things you can do. I got into the online money space by buying a course. It was a $20 a month course. It was cheap, but it was still a course. Eddie Cumberbatch, he now is at WAP and he does like the clipping thing, and he's like running that up. But like, he started out with a reselling offer, and that's how I initially got into reselling PS5s and reselling sneakers and getting into that space, ultimately making hundreds of thousands of dollars from that, and then making hundreds of thousands of dollars from selling coaching on that. So all of that started from me making that one initial investment. If he had never put that course together, God only knows what I'd be doing right now. I could be working a job or whatever else. So I think people give such a bad rep to the digital, like, course selling and online money space, but just think about how much of a scam college really is. And I just graduated from college, so I think I'm able to speak on this. People that go solely to college and have no other skill set are cooked. Like, you're going to college and all you're doing is you're checking the boxes, getting a degree that thousands of other people have, and then your entry level job is $60,000 to $100,000 a year. If you're $100,000 being if you're like actually solid at what you do, which most college kids are just drinking all day and going to class and getting through and just checking the box of getting a degree. Like, you have no skill set, so you're not going to get hired. I could get hired now at a multi 6-figure a year salary pretty confidently, or at least a 6-figure a year salary confidently, without even my degree being considered. That's not because I'm some genius or I'm fucking smart, but it's because I have real experience in the industry. I've done real things. I've generated real revenue. I've built real businesses. So focusing more on that than actually just getting an education, right? Like that's what people actually want to see nowadays in terms of employers, right? So if you're contemplating going to college or you're in college now, understand that that's fine. You can There's nothing wrong with going to college, but that alone is not going to save you. People think college is like the safe route. It's actually not safe at all. You're paying a ton of money for it, and you're not guaranteed anything. I have a bunch of friends that just graduated a couple years ago, worked a job for a year, got laid off. Now what? Now you're cooked. You went and spent 4 years slaving away at this degree that you thought was going to have you set just to get a 60K a year job, which by the way, 5K a month right now, post like pre-tax, bro. Come on, like rent is $2,000 a month. A car payment's like $500 a month. Boom, that half your money's gone. Now you still need to eat food. You want to take your girl out every now and then. You want to buy some new clothes. You want to take a trip once a year. Like you need to save for retirement. How are you going to balance all of that with only 5K a month? Like you're going to have to really, really be conservative with how you live. So depending on the lifestyle you want, maybe that works. But you know, anyway, I'm getting off on like a crazy tangent here. Like I said, this video is going to be like all over the goddamn place. I don't even know where I'm going with this, or even if I don't even know how I'm going to post this video. We'll see. So the course selling space, there's mixed opinions on it. Ultimately, I think it's a good thing for the world, because if you actually find someone that knows what they're talking about and you learn from them, it can literally change your life the way it changed my life. I've changed people's lives with teaching them how to sell sneakers. Maybe they went on to start a different business, but they might have never had business experience before coming into my program, my course. I've taught so many people about even just basic personal finance stuff that I learned on my own that they might have never learned, right? Like I've had so many people be like, yo, thank you for like teaching me how to invest. And like I'm not a financial advisor, but simply just telling them, yo, go get a Roth IRA, start buying S&P 500, learn what the fucking S&P 500 is, buy index funds, buy long term, but also invest in yourself first, grow your business this way, manage your cash flow this way. So many things that they'll just never learn on their own that they learn simply from just coming to my program and being involved in the community. Even these little tidbits, they plant seeds for the future for you. So even though Eddie didn't make me a millionaire, Eddie didn't make me hundreds of thousands of dollars, Eddie planted the seed in my head that allowed me to indulge myself in the rest of online business, which has led me to the exact point that I'm at right now. So I owe everything, my entire business, to Eddie and Brady for starting that first community. And like, it's crazy to say that, but it's true. Like if they had not pushed me initially to get into that and not made content that spoke to me, I would probably never be here. I'd still be living with my parents. I wouldn't be self-sufficient. I wouldn't have traveled and been able to see so much of the world already, right? So alhamdulillah, like it's just amazing that one initial investment started this whole chain reaction. So before you think about course sellers or people being scammers, look into them first. Make sure they're providing real value. A lot of them do scam, and they just want to buy a new car or buy a new watch. But a lot of people actually do care genuinely about your success, and they do want to actually provide real value to you and do want to impact your life. Now, sure, they might make a lot of money doing that, but there's no shame in that if they went and learned a skill and are providing that value for you. So in terms of next steps for me, I really don't know yet, to be honest. I'm running this offer, and we're doing webinars. It's been going pretty solid. I've actually been reading, where's the book? Jason Flanian, I don't know if that's his name. But I've been reading a book on webinars. I think it's actually over here. Yeah, this book, One to Many. So I've been learning a lot about running webinars. This guy's like the GOAT, Jason Fladlian. This guy's like the GOAT of running webinars. I think he's done $100 million with live webinars. We just did a webinar yesterday, went pretty solid. My goal now is just to scale this offer to, within the next couple of months, I'm pretty confident I can scale this offer to over 120K a month, just based on the numbers that we have now. But you know, the goal is to just scale it as high as we humanly possibly can. And there's also a software that comes with that, so trying to also just scale the software company that's kind of tied to this person's specific offer. That's kind of what I've been working on. Other than that, I'm still selling product. All the product that I sell, I still move some units. They're all fulfilled by a warehouse, so I don't really have to do any shipping anymore. So that's good, but I want to just focus on bigger projects and build bigger stuff. And I realized I got to a stage where, you know, sneakers provided a lot for me, and sneakers allowed me to get to the point that I am as an entrepreneur. But to get to the next level of where I really want to get and to work on the next level of stuff, the big crazy, I mean, even AI right now, it's just like I spend most of the day just like talking to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I probably talk to more than like my mom, my dad, my brother, just because I'm literally just all day like telling him everything that I do. It's literally my boy now, is ChatGPT. So I want to continue to learn more about AI, get myself involved in that space, and continue to just look at all the crazy opportunity that's in front of me and actually be able to go capitalize. And I feel like sneakers in that space has done its part for me, but I've outgrown that niche in that industry, and there's more opportunity for me out there. And so that's ultimately why I decided to go a different direction. It has really nothing to do with like the group is still, I'm still involved in the group. I still love every single member that's in there. A lot of those members are still, you know, people that I want to be in contact with hopefully for the rest of my life. So there's no hard feelings there, but ultimately I just realized I want to fry bigger fish. And so that's why I made that decision. And the info product space is still growing massively year over year. I mean, it's quite literally it's digital real estate. It's literally digital gold rush. I know it's like a buzzword that you've probably heard Iman Gadzhi say in an ad before, but it really is growing so rapidly, and I want to continue to be a part of that. But I'm also not trying to limit myself to anything right now, and I think that's the most important thing. Maybe I keep running this offer for a couple months, and I realize like I actually hate doing info product stuff, and I want to just focus on building the brand that I'm building. But what I do know is I really have a passion for marketing, and I really like moving units. So as long as I can continue to do those two things, I think the rest will take care of itself. I have no idea what videos I'm going to post on this channel. I basically am restarting this from scratch. I left my other channel, I changed it to like the other brand so that it's not tied to me anymore because there was a lot of like sneaker content. But yeah, I ultimately just want to figure out, maybe I can talk more about my experience, what I've done with the old info product, what I'm currently doing with the new info product. But I also like keeping a lot of stuff private. Like I haven't posted content for a few months, and it's been truly like one of the best experiences. Going from making content every single day, documenting every angle of my life, everyone always knowing what I'm doing next, to people have no idea what I. This video is gonna be like the first life update that I've posted in a couple of months, and I've only posted like a couple of brand deals for like this mattress that I got because I just have to like hold my end of the deal. Other than that, there hasn't been any content posted, so people have no idea what I'm doing. They have no idea where I am. People don't even know if I'm in the city right now, and I kind of like that level of movement. So I want to get back to scaling up my personal brand and putting more good content out there. I just don't quite yet know how much I really want to put out there, nor do I know where I can provide the most value at the current moment, because I'm not an expert with info products. I've made a couple $100,000 doing it, but there's people out there that have made a couple $1 million doing it, and I'm still learning from them. So I want to shift my content moving forward from being an expert and always giving sauce and trying to sell you something to me learning stuff, sharing what I'm learning, and being willing to admit that I'm going to be wrong and that I don't know everything. I mean, right now I've just been reading as much as humanly possible. Like I said, I just picked up this book. I also got this. I saw like a Rob the Bank Instagram reel. He was talking about marketing to the affluent. So I think it'd be an interesting book to read to just talk about. It talks about how to sell to richer people and how to frame your offer differently. But yeah, ultimately, that's I guess I think a good stopping point for this video. I don't know, like I said, what I'm gonna do on this channel. Sorry, this video was all over the place. I was trying to just condense 1,000 thoughts into like 24 minutes or 25 minutes, however long this is gonna end up being. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe. If you didn't, don't subscribe. I don't really care. It doesn't make a difference for me. Which feels so good to say this because I used to have to get views and have to get subscribers and have to get traction to make money. But now I genuinely don't give a shit if I get views or not because it doesn't make me more money. I mean, it might in the future, but I'm still gonna get paid. I'm still making good money, alhamdulillah, with or without your views or your likes or your subscribes. So yeah, I think as long as I keep it this way, I'll enjoy making content a lot more because I really just want to share what's helped me as a 21-year-old and share the little bit of life experience that I have in these last few years of learning a bunch of shit, rather than just trying to always be the authority and always try to act like I know everything, which I don't, you know. So yeah, that's the update for now. If you enjoyed this video, thank you. I love you. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Zain Zitawi. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video. I don't know when it is, but I will see you